lot of people didn't have that choice. And so I think that actually what I try to say in this book is there's a lot of big problems out there we got to work on, and that we are, but also you can have a lot of fun and joy along the way. That this is not a burden. It's actually it is a privilege, and
it's such a great attitude. Did your mother have that attitude as well? It seems like.
Oh yeah, she didn't have much choice. Boy, if you were like a tough woman in Texas, you didn't. She's like, no crying. This is it, you know. Mm-hmm. And she was a big believer in, you know, if something didn't work out, you failed, you got up, you dust yourself off, and you keep going on. And I just think that's how. I think that's how women have been throughout the centuries, and I think that's true right now. I think the other thing, though, that I'm seeing now, which is really exciting, is women supporting other women. And that was my mom was a big believer in that. That was like, there was nothing that brought her greater joy than seeing other women succeed. And that just, to me, is something, I think that's a myth that's out there sometimes about women, and I actually feel like it's changing, and it's exciting.
I feel that it's changing too. Part of that was, you know, when the Me Too movement started.
Yep.
And I just remember that day when I opened up Facebook and saw all of those women who were together. It seemed like something had happened. Something major had happened.
Well, and it's funny, I was reading, someone just did a poll of women who went to the marches to find out why did they go. Yeah. And a large part of it is because they wanted to, one, they wanted to feel like they weren't crazy. And two, they wanted to be with other people. They wanted to be in community. And that's, as I say now, it feels like going around the country, and even these last couple of weeks on book tour, it's like, I feel like you put up the bat signal and like women just show up, you know, like, where are we going, you know? And so I do think it is an incredibly, it's a scary time, but it's also a very electrifying and energizing time everywhere.
It saved women $1.4 billion on birth control annually. I hope I have my figures right, correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. It has helped the country reach a 30-year low for unintentional pregnancies, and we've hit a historic low for teen pregnancies.
That's right.
1 in 8 women, including myself, are diagnosed with breast cancer, and the early detection methods of Planned Parenthood, paired with your partner, Susan B. Komen, are unprecedented. I think people don't really understand how much you do for healthcare.
So it's interesting. In general, I would say people do know what we do because 1 in 5 women in this country have been to Planned Parenthood for healthcare, including me. I remember when I went away to college at Brown, where I was a troublemaker, I didn't have any idea where to go for healthcare, and so it was a Planned Parenthood health center in Providence, Rhode Island. I think the media loves to follow controversy and all that, but in general, folks are aware of what we do and they're supportive of what we do. And I think even in this last year and a half, and I go into this in detail of talking about the attempts by the administration and by Congress to, as they said, defund Planned Parenthood, which we can talk about what that really means. Because I just want to say, we're not a line item in the federal budget. Would that there was a Planned Parenthood, like, you know, big chunk. We just work like other or hospitals and other healthcare providers, and we get reimbursed for care. But anyway, as we became under attack, and it was so clear, that really was how support grew. And in fact, there was a poll a couple of weeks ago by Fox News, which is not always our biggest fan, and they had to report and I can't believe they actually did. They report their own poll showed that Planned Parenthood was now the most popular organization in the country.